Well, this is new.
Tell me about it. What's our first step?
So, well, we can either sit on our butts on this well, or we can find Kyra again and see if we can help out.
She's already doing her own thing. I was figuring it might be a good idea if we were to ask around. She did mention that there are civilians here trying to rebuild their homes, so maybe we could seek some of them out and ask some questions. Maybe some of them noticed something or remembered something. Anything about the attack that could help us out here.
Sounds fair enough.
Alright. Wanna split up, take care of that, and meet back here in an hour?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So you split up. I need you then to make an inquiry check. Mika will do the same.
Inquiry. Do I have anything? I have nothing in inquiry. God damn it.
Welcome to my world.
And she has 4 in inquiry.
Yep.
Oh!
You got a natural success, though, even though that one there's cocked.
Wow!
I will let you have it, though, because I am a benevolent god.
I win!
Okay.
Gave me...
All right.
Through the cock of the dice, he got a critical success.
He did. I will let him have that. Okay, so you spend some time asking around, questioning any of the residents of this town from before it was burned down you can reach, and those that you find were apparently not near the primary scenes of carnage when everything was going down. One person kind of babbles about how there were, some Velkers running through the streets and all of the chaos. There is another person who mentions that he heard something large in the distance as the village was being lit ablaze, seemingly roaring and shrieking to the heavens themselves in rage and making the earth shake and cleaving buildings down in one fell swoop before moving on. There's nothing more than this big, jangling shadow that was hard to discern in all of the chaos.
Jangling?
The man's like, yes, like enormous chains almost.
Really?
Yes. I never got a good look at the thing, but it was all in shadow and it was in the middle of the night. I only saw it from afar. It cut down a home before moving on, and I didn't see it again, but whatever it was,
How big we talking here?
Like, perhaps 15 feet, maybe a little more tall.
Quite large, with chains. Alistair had, in Alistair's vision, they had chains. Maybe a connection. This was all in my head.
Right. One more thing. I might have been misseeing. It was hard to see through all the flames and heat waves, but it almost looked like the thing had wings, almost?
Wings.
Large, pointed wings, yes.
Like not feathery, more leather?
Not leather, no. They weren't membranes. They were almost skeletal, but not. It's hard to explain or describe. I didn't get a good look. I was too busy trying to save a few of my life's possessions I had.
Large skeletal wings. And okay, out of character percent, correct me. You said it was breathing the fire, or like
He didn't make any connection between it or the fire as an origin point. He just saw it charging through town after the flames had started and spread.
okay, so interesting. Thank you for the information.
You're welcome. I hope it helps. We've all lost so much in this attack.
We'll do our best to make sure it won't happen again.
Thank you. And he turns back to start picking through the remains of what you assume was once his house. And you make your way back to the well?
And is Mika back yet?
You make your way back to the well, and yes, Mika's there. She has her book open and she's writing down in it, with her quill, sort of making some notes. The pages light up at her for a second. She hums to herself, writes a little more.
Gil, for your thoughts?
1 sec.
She writes in it again. A couple seconds pass, the page lights up. She nods to herself, writes down a couple more lines, and then closes it shut.
So, what did you find?
Well, I found this nice, kindly old man who gave me a description of what did all this damage.
I heard there was something large that was causing all the chaos, but I didn't get a description. What did it look like?
Said it was large, about 15 feet, had some kind of skeletal wings, yet not. He didn't get a very good look, and it wasn't very clear. It's obvious this thing was large, and it could possibly fly. And one thing that really piqued my interest, the sounds of something like chains.
Huh.
Alistair's vision, he mentioned chains, remember?
Vaguely. It's been a while, and we've had a lot going on since then.
I remember he mentioned the woman, Elizabeth, I guess, and then there was chains. There may be a connection.
Maybe.
Far as I could tell, nobody got a really good look at this thing, and it did a lot of damage. If it was that large, where did it come from? Where is it now? And why would it attack?
Who knows? With any
Any
luck, me and the others will have better luck when they get back.
Let's see, you've studied monsters. Any ideas of what this thing could be?
I'm gonna have her roll lore everything.
Time for the old law.
She kind of shrugs her shoulders helplessly.
Without a more clear description, there's a lot of things it could be. The idea of skeletal wings brings to mind the idea of a dracolich, but if it's that small, it probably wouldn't be anything more than a hatchling, but
15 feet is small.
dragons get big, alright? A dragon that's only 15 feet tall would probably barely even count as an adolescent.
Far as we know, dragons don't attack people unless provoked, right?
Unless they've been corrupted by Amber or were resurrected as a dracolich to do something evil. There are plenty of other creatures it could be, but again, without more details, it could be any of them and doesn't really narrow our things down for us, sadly. Definitely not enough to give me any clues as to what's going on here.
Well, hopefully the others have better luck than us.
Hopefully.
Speaking of which, we'll cut away to them now. So, Rocket, Alistair,
Yes?
and Nee, as you are going, I would like all of you to make, let's see here, nature checks to sort of figure out where you're going and how you're trying to locate Elizabeth and whatnot.
Nature, unfortunately. Hopefully, need does. Nope.
Jesus,
Oh,
Alistair.
fuck nature.
That is the third critical fail you've gotten.
7.
What?
Out with the dice right now. Okay,
Alright.
I don't fucking know.
All right,
This is
so-
karma for earlier.
All right, so a 2 and 2 7s. All right. Well, unfortunately, it seems that Elizabeth is really good at covering her tracks. And while you do start to come up on the small little region of forestation where you assume she makes her home, you have no idea where to even start looking, and it could take days to search this whole place.
Do awareness next. Or not.
If you want to, what are you looking for?
Well, any sign that...
Sign
Pick
or
up on the trail.
just something.
Anything.
Sure, go ahead and roll an awareness check for me, Alistair.
I swear to
Okay,
God,
so
if you get another,
I bet it's gonna be
critical
ones.
fail.
I mean, the dice hate me now.
I
I
swear to
had
God,
my
Alistair.
fun, and now judgment is upon me.
At least
That's not even enough.
At least it wasn't ones.
At least it wasn't once.
You're looking around and looking and listening, and you just hear the sounds of the forest ahead of you. A lot of birds chirping, a faint breeze brushing by to make the leaves rustle against each other, granting some gentle ambiance and white noise.
Mm.
What are you guys doing?
Would you be able to pick up on anything, Rocket?
Nope.
It's just white forest. Well, I'm going to see if I can't get to higher ground there. Is there any particularly tall trees around?
Sure. We'll say there's a couple of tall ones around.
Alright.
Right.
That tree there, I'm gonna head up to the top and see if I can't spot anything from a higher position.
Me and Rocket will keep looking all the way down here then.
Well, don't stray too far. You could get lost easily if you separate in a forest like this.
Ah. I'm
Alright.
not moving that far.
All right,
Just
so,
being behind you.
and it's worth noting, you are at the edge of the forest, so you're not, like, in it yet.
Yeah.
All right, so, Nee, you go ahead and you, I'm not even going to make you roll for this because you can take your time and be careful. You scale up the tree easy enough, and you get into the higher branches, and you look out over the terrain. Go ahead and make an awareness check and add +4 to your roll because of your vantage point.
17.
Ooh,
Okay.
There you
17. Fuck yeah. Okay, so...
that's more like it.
As you are looking around at your high vantage point, you finally see movement a ways up ahead along the forest edge. You see someone exiting the tree line, humanoid in shape, too far away to make out fine details, but they are running away from the
They're
forest.
exiting.
They're exiting the
Humanoid.
forest, and they are moving at a full sprint.
Keeping an eye out where they are, and he's going to hop down quickly. Will I need to roll for that? Go down.
I'll say no.
Hop on the Rocket.
Right, so, yeah. So I'll down quickly go. Humanoid running that way. Rocket, you're faster than us.
Okay.
Forgive me, Rocket, but we need you to go fast. That way.
Go
Um,
fast.
All right,
I'm
so
not Sonic, you know.
And the reason why I'm saying forgive me because Alasai does not like blinding other animals. He just feels bad for them.
So
I mean, you
onto
could just send
Rocket
Rocket.
and chase after whoever that is. See if you can't.
all right, so Rocket, you go ahead and you go charging up ahead, faster than everyone else. And as you're coming closer, your eyes eventually pick out the individual, and you see it's a female.
That's a good start.
Yep. And very quickly you start piecing it together as you see more and more details coming in. Red hair, pallid in armor, tattered underclothing.
It's Elizabeth.
That's definitely her. And she has her sword drawn. It's very chipped and broken up looking. And she also has her shield in her other hand, and it's very dented and broken up. And she glances your way as you're running up and gets a sort of wide-eyed look like she's really confused to see you. And then you hear a loud, wet sort of roaring noise coming from the forest behind her.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Speaking of Dracula,
What
I mentioned earlier.
heck? What the heck was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. Let's catch up with them quick. I don't want to know what
Alright.
that was.
All right, so
You know, why am I getting Jurassic Park 3 vibes from this now?
All right, so you turn to look, and as you do, you see a behemouthian creature lurching forward out of the tree line. Green tentacles slathering along the ground, a massive maw filled with razor-sharp teeth.
It's a marble.
Dozens of eye stalks staring at Elizabeth as it's slithering along the ground. It roars again, and Elizabeth comes to a stop as you're running up, looks over at you in surprise, and yeah. What are you doing there,
marble.
Rocket?
You gotta be kidding me.
No.
Alright, where is it? Okay, so where are we proceeding? I'm trying to find us our tokens.
You two are not on the map yet. You are too far away.
I thought we hopped onto Rocket.
No,
No.
you sent her to
Rocket
run
ran
ahead.
ahead.
You guys are a few turns away from before you're even on the map.
Well, I just freaking apologize for nothing.
Well, shit.
What are you doing, Rocket?
I don't know.
Well,
Just wait for the slowpokes to catch up, I guess.
I would suggest at
This is
least
your
asking
moment.
Elizabeth to fuck.
This is your come with me if you want to leave moment.
You are our Terminator.
You're not on this. Just
Get the fuck out the way.
you're telling her to get out of the way?
I just
No, I'm getting the fuck out the way.
Okay, so you kind of shuffle over this way. Where put yourself where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness me.
I wish we had Thanatos because he has fire, and fire would be good against this.
I'm starting to feel like splitting up was not the best idea. Because you guys
Well,
now
I didn't know we were going to have a boss fight.
because now you guys don't have your two heavy hitters.
Yeah, we're not going to stay to fight this thing. By the way,
No way.
Yeah, that
No
executive
hey.
decision.
No.
To say, let's
No.
see you guys.
This
stick
fucker's in my story. I swear, it's the same fucker from that time. Oh no.
Well,
Well-
anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start up a turn order, and because of circumstances, I'm gonna have the Moorball go first.
Fuck. Well, I
Well-
should have bolted with her.
damn.
So the Moorball, let's see here, is going to come forward a medium range towards Elizabeth. Doesn't seem to have really noticed you yet, Rocket. And let's see here.
Come on, Rocket, save her.
Let's see here. And it is going to open its mouth and start to inhale. This intense gust of wind rushes towards it. And Rocket, I need you to make an opposed force check against it to avoid being pulled into melee range.
Opposed force.
Opposed force.
Force.
And you need to beat a 15.
Oh god. It has 9 force. Are you kidding me?
It does.
Yeah, we're not going to fight this thing without me, can't
It's a great big fucking plant monster with a string of teeth. What the fuck do you think?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm tempted to say, I wish I was close enough to tell you, but OC, I'm tempted to say that maybe a good idea might be kidnapping Elizabeth and GTFOing.
Just have Rocket pick her up and run.
All right, so.
And that's what I wanted to do.
All right, so both of you get yanked into melee range, your feet trying to dig into the earth to keep it from happening, but it just doesn't work, and you look up into this thing's massive maw of teeth and saliva and acid, and it is going to use bad breath
Oh fuck!
Luckily, we have Poisona.
on
He also does.
both of you at once.
That does just the poison. Bad breath does all. If it's anything like in 14, it does a lot more than just poison.
All right, so
More ball.
Why?
that is a 14 to hit on both Elizabeth and Rocket. Rocket, does that hit your avoidance?
Why did it have to be immobile?
I would assume. Literally one of the. It's up there with Behemoths, so yeah.
Mine is 9, so yeah, it hits.
All right.
You know what? Could we just go back to the desert and fight a behemoth?
It was a juvenile.
All right. Okay, so you both get hit, so now you both need to make your opposed force checks to see if you can dodge the status ailments at least.
Ailments.
See, there's one.
So 18 is the number you need to beat.
Oh,
Okay, you're.
What do I need to roll?
Force. So Elizabeth.
Force?
Yep, force.
You are so full of shit.
I statted it accordingly to a level 6 boss. This thing is suited for a group of your level if you were all together.
Yes, and we were just under the impression when a simple investigation, not that we were going into a boss encounter. We had no way of knowing this was going to happen.
Okay. Nope.
None.
Okay. So I am going to go ahead now and
This is like going for a Sunday stroll, and all of a sudden, well, one of these things turns
all right.
up.
The
so-
only
what a
way they could
beautiful
have dodged
day.
that is with a critical success. That's bullshit.
I don't make
Oh,
the rules,
no.
man. Okay, so
Oh, no.
first one for Rocket. Rocket, you are afflicted with poison and blind
Bollocks.
for 4 rounds.
blindness.
Elizabeth, however, she's a
Wait, I'm immune to poison.
You are?
That Rocket is.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you're just blind then. Elizabeth,
Rocket.
however,
Can I ask anything for in-universe technicality of the fact that one of her eyes is cybernetic?
she's she's blind in one eye, so.
No, because as a nitpick, it would make sense to be blind in an eye that cannot physically be poisoned or affected by organic material. Like that.
Stat-wise, the effect on her will still be the same. She'll only be rolling one dice when making attack rolls.
Alright.
So Rocket is afflicted with
And
blindness.
what happened to Elizabeth?
Elizabeth kind of gets the full gambit.
How many ailments?
6.
6.
She gets
How?
She gets poisoned, blinded, confused, silenced, slowed, and stunned.
Christ. You see, this is why I hate these damn things in 14.
They're nasty creatures. Okay, so there's blind.
We can't. This is not a fight we can win without the others.
Let's see here.
Especially.
Oh, we're not even there. Rocket's only there. Get out of there, Rocket!
We're going to be catching up to them, and then I'm going to be using Fundament's Flay.
Which way?
I'll give you a direction here
Away.
in a second.
I mean, she means that because she's blind.
Listen to the sound of our voice. If you can, we're over here.
All right,
Right.
so you would need to be going in that direction.
That direction?
Yep, that direction.
With Elizabeth.
Yep.
Do I scoop her up?
Well, she's confused, so she's not
She's
in the right
stunned as
mind.
well,
to
so she
pick her up.
can't save herself. So yeah,
Yeah.
help
Pick her
her.
up.
Okay, I'll pick her up.
She is confused, but she's also stunned, so she physically can't move, so that's fine.
All right, so the boar ball unleashes this putrid-smelling cloud of black and purple smog and fumes over you. You quickly clamp your beak shut and screw your one of your eyes shut as it washes over you. It burns at you a little bit, and when you open your eye back up, it's gone out, but you can still see through your cybernetic eye, but it's never been as good as your organic eye, so it's kind of you're very disoriented. Elizabeth, on the other hand, when the cloud passes over her, she falls to her knees and immediately just starts to violently throw up on the ground as rashes and whatnot start to appear all over her body, little blisters and side effects of the poison. She looks up in this daze, and this kind of low, agonized groan comes out of her throat, and you can tell she's trying to scream, but her vocal cords have seized up.
Okay.
So
Pick her up.
Yep. So moving.
Leave.
So moving quickly, you scoop Elizabeth up onto your back, sort of shoving your head and neck under her, while she's on her hands and knees, and quickly lift her up. You hear her grunting again before you turn, and I am assuming just making a full mad dash sprint.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Move yourself where you're going. I will have Elizabeth match because she shares space with you now. All right. So you get to about there. All right.
I guess we're moving towards them.
Yep,
We're
and we'll
still
go
in the
ahead
trees.
and at this point we'll go ahead and say that you two are now on the map.
Oh shit, no.
Yep.
Sure. I shoot it at Rocket.
All right, so what are you two doing as Rocket is running your way and you see a moor ball chasing after her hungrily?
I just said
take-
that.
I can-
I've done that.
That's it.
it would take 2 turns for us to reunite and see you, thus,
Unless you use your full turn to just sprint up to them.
True.
Yeah.
Sacrifice
Maybe,
your action.
yeah, do
double
that, and
distance.
then... Actually,
Bad
I'm trying to think,
idea.
'cause if they can
That's a-
use the next turn, because
Don't-
once we're all together, we all get the bonus from Flea.
Okay.
So why not just wait till next round when she
Me.
can get to you?
Do not
Alright,
get...
so
Nee, I know you want to rescue her, but trust me, do not go near that thing.
I'm not
I will
planning
cast
to.
Ash-
I already know what I'm probably going to Yeah,
Try to-
throw stone wouldn't work because I'm thinking it'd take a while to reach us, but we're too far for that.
I'm gonna shoot Astra, as I said, at Rocket.
Okay,
and basically
Rocket, you
shield
have
her.
Astra. Okay. And for purposes,
Nee,
we'll
try to
say-
keep that thing distracted until Rocket can get to me. But
I
don't
would
get
be
too
able
close.
to, but I take it
Just shoot her
throw
from
stone
afar.
considering how far we are, and also I would have a massive penalty because we're above long range at this point, 3 medium ranges.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, you can try throw stone if you want, as long as you're within the range it lists in the ability.
Well, what is
It's just the same as like normal range, but I can just about get into just under, so that's 1 medium range, and then that'll be 2.9. It's just barely under long range.
All right.
If I move up here, so yeah. So if I move there,
What
up
about if
there.
I shoot?
And then I
you?
use throw stone, which now that I'm under, just barely under long range, at which point I would have the penalty. So just my normal to hit. Actually, no, it can't miss, can it?
I
Because
don't
once I'm in
think.
range.
Yeah, I don't think it can miss. No, so just you check
Yeah.
it.
Doesn't it stun the enemy for 1 turn?
In the game, in this one, it's specifically in this one it's I might have to double check because I haven't got this. I just got under fundamentals. But I think it's specifically
Throw stone. The character
Whatever.
hurls a small rock at one enemy once per session, hoping to get their attention for a moment. But even the most well-intentioned acts tend to have consequences. As a standard action, once per combat, the character may automatically beam an enemy with a rock for 1d6 points of damage, ignoring arm and other types of damage reduction.
Yeah.
The enemy is automatically stunned for 1 round if they're susceptible
Yes,
to the status
yes.
effect. However, until the end of the current combat, the targeted causes critical hit rolls on causes critical hits on rolls of 10 to 12 when inflicting harm to the user of this ability.
So
my
they,
hope is like it might get stunned, but also more importantly, like it would have to reach us, and it will take attention from those who are most vulnerable. So I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Yeah,
so-
you do that, and then I do something after you. Because I'm
So
still thinking.
one normal. It said 1d6 in it. So
1d6.
roll 1d6. It's been awesome to use this.
Come on.
Well, it hits no matter what. It's just the damage I do, which is 2.
All right,
Nothing.
so Nee, you kind of run up and you see a nice, hefty, fist-sized rock jutting up out of the ground. You pull it up with a spray of dirt, and you chuck it like a baseball. It flies over Rocket's head and like thumps into like the upper lip of the moorball as it's approaching, causing it to stop for like a quarter of a second and sort of shake with this.
Hey, focus on me, you overgrown weed.
Then it gives out this loud Godzilla-like roar in irritation and starts beating, and you can tell all of its eye stalks are now focused squarely on you. You've got its
Good.
attention.
What about it?
Alistair, what are you doing?
I am just gonna do. Now I think about it. Astron.
you already did that.
Rocket. On.
Oh yeah, you
cover
already.
on-
You already did your action. So
Honestly, it
cover-
probably would have been better to do Astro on me, but there. If you do,
We didn't. He did that before you did the
Yeah.
stone thing, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
And I was thinking
Besides,
about the
it's
cover.
stunned for this turn anyway.
right.
Yeah,
No,
I was
actually,
thinking
no.
about
It's
the-
immune to being stunned.
What?
Yeah.
You are so full of horseshit.
I'm sorry.
it's so false.
Boss fight for
As
you.
I was saying, the only other thing I could do is declare cover on someone, which is
You're too far away
gonna
for
be
cover.
Elizabeth.
I mean, if he's within a medium range, he can declare cover.
Yeah. Which I was going to do it
Uh,
for Elizabeth, since I'm already got Astro and Rocket. The reason I did it for Rocket, because she's the Steve.
You're not quite close enough, unfortunately. I mean, you can declare cover, but you won't be able to reach her.
Hang on, I was around here, so how far can I actually
You
move?
can move a medium range.
A medium range.
I
So
mean,
it's a-
again, moving closer to them.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, it's going to attack me. So you know who's
Alright,
going to
then.
attack because it's under that effect.
I'm standing here. Actually, a good
Same.
point. That's a good point.
Just like Murasan.
Cover on knee. Then
All right.
Okay.
Like you know who it's going to try and get to.
Okay.
That
So
was the whole point. That
Okay,
leaves them
so-
alone.
so it can't be stunned. So what happens to them? Oh, godly DM who wants them dead.
Well, to be fair, you were all supposed to fight this thing.
Yes, well, we did. We had no idea we were going to go for a boss fight already.
As- As much as I want that abomination dead, we need to get out of here because we will not be strong enough.
All right,
there were
so
no-
the war ball kind of slurps forward across the ground, leaving this trail of mucus in its wake. And Rocket, as you're like carrying Elizabeth, you look up and like visibly pale as it just surges past you, not paying attention to you or Elizabeth anymore, but instead beelining for Neothil, its tentacles writhing, its teeth gnashing.
Shit.
That's the point.
Shit.
That's all
Here
it
we
can
go
do. It
again.
used its full turn to make that movement. So back to
Alright.
everyone else. Hold up
Rocket,
for just
get here, and I'm using Flee.
just a second. I gotta get through the shit with Elizabeth first, because remember, she is confused.
She's also stunned, though.
And poison.
Stun is worn off.
Oh.
So let's see here. So what is 1/4 or what is 1/5 of her of her current max?
Fuck! I should have done Poisonance. Fuck.
God damn it.
Okay, so Elizabeth takes 58 points of damage as the poison courses through her system and hurts her. And I also need to roll with confused.
I can only imagine
my
you
brain
envision
got
this DM as like an epic introduction to her character, and it's not gone that way.
It has definitely not.
Because it
All
was
right,
never
so-
going to, because we're missing 2 people.
All right, so on a 5 or 6, she acts normally, so she's just kind of, and she recognizes the sensation of being on a chocobo's back, and just her fingers numbly curl into your fingers, and she's just holding on for dear life with sort of loose but simultaneously iron grip.
Come on, Rocket, we're getting out of here.
Okay.
Get
That's
over
it.
here and let's flee. Like what's the bonus Flee gets to the roll?
Give me a
Again?
second. Give me a second to find fundaments again. Flee. Some might call you a coward. You're blah, 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 blah. You and your allies get a +2 bonus to your escape skill checks when you can help lead your friends to safety. You and your allies receive a +2 when attempting to run away in combat. The effective flee stack if multiple allies have the fundaments ability. So everyone will just get a +2 to escape rolls.
I can't see my icon.
Because Elizabeth is on it.
Okay.
Just
So move
Well,
here.
Bringing her over
over
here.
there. Bring Elizabeth over.
Alright, so rolling for escape, would it... So the full thing would just be 2d6 plus 2?
It'll be 2d6 plus your escape modifier, yes, for everyone.
So, with my 3 plus 2, that's 5.
My normal escape is 3, so yes, plus 5.
5.
2d6 plus
On 13!
13.
Yeah!
10.
Whoop, whoop.
10. Rocket.
Oh.
Yeet.
Give me a second. I'm looking for the rules on running away. And Rocket, you need to make an
One
escape
away.
check.
One away.
Elizabeth doesn't need to roll because she's on Rocket. Just
Yeah,
go with
so,
her.
yep, so you will share rolls on that.
Escape. Let's see here. Do I get a bonus?
And you get a plus 2 because of the flee.
What do you have on escape?
2.
So that's
Okay.
plus 4.
14.
All
That's pretty
right. Okay. So,
Nice.
Do they get away?
all right. So, Rocket, you kind of briefly slide to a stop and kind of blink your eye, trying to see. It's still very hazy. You're very disoriented still because of being blinded. But Nia and Alistair, you see Rocket sliding up to a stop next to you, and you quickly like, all right, you latch on to her feathers, and Rocket, you immediately feeling the weight of your companions on you, like adrenaline pumping through your veins as you hear this thing roaring and lumbering after you, digging up trenches in the earth as it's coming. You flare out your wings, and with a quick 1-2 gentle burst of fuel from your rocket propellers, leap into the air and flap your wings, and you take flight.
Yee.
Quickly leave that thing in the dust.
Give me it again, you monstrosity.
Yeah, that was the best move because we were not beating 2 party members down. Because it was clearly sad for all of us plus Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So,
Plus the
And
fact
I-
that the 2 missing were most of your DPS.
Oh
plus
yeah, by the
people that
way,
has this weakness, the fire.
can we say that while we were on Rocket, I used Persona on... You know,
Yeah, sure.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, sure. We'll say that you used Poisona on Elizabeth to heal her wounds.
Heal the poison at least.
Yeah, to heal the
Alright.
poison. She is
Sorry,
still
sorry.
Hang in
confused.
there.
She's
We're gonna make it back.
Yeah, she's
Just
still confused and blinded and silenced. So she's kind of, her eyes are sort of rolling around her in her skull, and she's making these unintelligible mumbles as you're going. But after a couple minutes, she eventually starts to sort of calm down and pull herself together, and her eyes finally focus as she blinks them. Rocket, how far are you flying from the battlefield?
Not too far, just far enough to get away from.
Okay, so
Close enough to stay near the party.
right. I mean that they're attached to you,
How
so
high?
you can go as far as you want.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Rocket, I think we're far enough. I think it's best that you save your energy just in case it comes back again.
All
Just slow
right.
it down.
All right. So, you bring yourself down, and you eventually, your claws dig into the grass. You take a few final steps before sort of coming to a stop and slumping, taking deep breaths. Normally, you can only carry one person of weight, and so carrying 3 people's worth of weight was very taxing. You are no longer able to fly today. You're out.
Okay.
Okay. All this trouble looking for you. Didn't think you'd attract the attention of a mobile.
Elizabeth
Seems
kind
my
of
ultimate.
Elizabeth kind of looks over at you with the sort of blank look on her face. She looks down at Rocket and then kind of pops off.
And
Take
who
it
are you
easy.
supposed to be?
Alistair, I think you should take this one
Hmm.
and explain
going to.
the backstory of this little misadventure.
My name is Alasaya, and this is Nee and Rocket. We've come looking for you and hope to bring you back.
She turns to look at you, Alistair, and her eyes glue onto yours, and she visibly tenses for a moment.
Alistair, huh?
Yes. I had quite a vision. I'm not exactly sure what it fully means, but I know I need to bring you back. Your
Bring me.
master misses you.
Oh, he does? Could have fooled me.
She sheaths her sword at her side, and it, with visible force, kind of shoves it back into its scabbard.
It wasn't his fault. He regretted the day when you went missing. He wished he could have done more.
Well, he didn't. So what good are his wishes in retrospect?
He obviously cared. He cares so much he wants you back, and also I have proof of it.
Oh, really?
He gave me this. He asked me to give you it. If I see you.
You hold out the symbol to her, and she looks down at it and slowly reaches out and takes it in one hand and looks it over for a second. Sort of shoves it back into your hand.
All right. Is he still in Garlet?
He is.
He wanted to come himself, but he's not so mobile these days.
Really? Hard to believe anything could
Yes.
take the spring out of that man's step.
But shut it back, does it?
No, she would need to know.
She sort of visibly tenses again, some of the intensity fleeing her face before she shakes her head and backs away.
Well, that's all well and good, but what do you want with me?
Aside from the fact that my friend here had one hell of a vision induced by Amber involving you. He saw you amidst that town, Western Crossroads. It burns. According to his vision, you attacked him.
That was
Okay,
me.
yes.
Like I said, I'm still not exactly sure myself. I just saw
We-
you filled with hate, but also terrified, and then you lunge towards my vision.
We only found out who you were recently. We came back to the Guardian domain to follow that vision.
Are there more of you?
We have two
No.
more. They're back in the town investigating. What happened here, Elizabeth? To the town? To you?
To the town? Wish I could remember. Last thing I remember before waking up in the ruins was being somewhere cold and dark that I would rather not speak of.
Very well then.
Well,
As
As
for,
you
what,
said, we-
as for what happened to me, it sounds like you already have the picture.
we suspect what they wanted you for, given your healing.
The old man told you about that, did he?
It's what he suspected they wanted you for, and it weighs heavily.
She reaches up to one of her tattered sleeves and kind of rolls it back, and you just see, like, rows upon rows of old scars in her skin.
Well, he's not wrong.
God.
She tugs it back down to hide the scars, and
He wants to see me? Fine. Been meaning to talk to him anyway.
Thanks.
I know he expects that you may not particularly like him. Just remember that he is an old man now with many life regrets, and you are the top of that list. Be that as it may, we should return to Wendon Crossroads. There is still the unanswered question of what happened to that place. If you would be willing to join us, Miss Elizabeth.
You go do your own thing. If Aaronzier wants to talk, then we'll talk. I'm not wasting my time with anything else.
You aren't the least bit curious what happened to that town. I would have thought that.
I am
I would've-
curious, but ultimately it's not something I'm in any position to help along. If you want to look into it and figure it out, be my guest. But I was never much of a detective.
But I have heard you're one hell of a paladin.
Maybe once.
Hmm.
I'll accompany you as far as the town itself, but then I'm taking the road straight back to the city.
Okay.
Well, we'll find out what our cohorts have to say if they found anything anyway.
You only brought one chocobo, so I guess we're going on foot.
Yeah, I'm kind of the only one in the party.
What the hell?
Yeah. Sorry. I forgot.
Sorry, I
Probably
didn't
should have
tell you
said
that I
that she could talk.
We've seen some things from plagues induced by dark gods to organizations devoted to cybernetic enhancements, which is now a hole in the ground.
You know what?
Yep.
I'm not gonna ask.
It would be a very long story. Right, well, let's get moving. We've already lost 3 hours a day thanks to a certain someone, Alistair.
And she starts marching towards Wendland Crossroads without really giving any of you a look. Just going.
I say we should start to follow, but as we do so, Nee's going to stay back with Alistair a moment. Not quite what I expected to encounter. She's damaged, but she definitely doesn't seem to know anything about the town. At least remember.
Indeed.
And she seems to hold no particular hatred towards you, unlike what the vision would imply.
Hmm. Which I'm still confused myself. I mean,
Perhaps it wasn't you, but something behind your visage.
but the question is, what would it be? Would it have been that thing or something much worse?
Perhaps whatever burned the town, if she no longer remembers.
What is that?
As you're sort of talking about this, up ahead, Elizabeth briefly comes to a stop and glances back at you.
Talking about me behind my back?
Only that none of this is what we expected.
I'm still trying to figure out my vision of what it means. I never had anything like this before.
If it makes you feel any better about yourself,
She points at you, Alistair.
I have seen you before. When I first woke up.
So she did see you in that vision. Oh, the power of Amber.
An apparition. Nothing more.
Well, it wasn't an apparition, it was real.
Besides, if you hate me because I replaced you, I still think you'd be a way better paladin.
She
How
doesn't
is
say
that?
anything. She doesn't
My
say anything. She
mistakes-
just keeps going.
Well,
Mostly from my mistakes anyway.
let's catch up with the others. I'm sure they're eager to make her acquaintance.
All right.
Ain't gonna be fun.
So you
Same as
spend.
ever.
So you spend a couple hours making your way back to Wendland Crossroad. By the time you're getting back, the sun is starting to set on the horizon. Give me just a second. I'm shuffling some things around here.
Shuffling. I don't like it when you.
Well, while you're
shuffle
doing
things.
that, you know, Nee,
Hmm?
out of all the horrors I have seen, I was not expecting to see that creature again.
Again, is that the thing that...
Yes.
Hmm.
The one I failed to stop. What happened to my master?
Well, take your own advice. Wasn't your fault.
I just wish I could have done more.
Don't we all?
All right. And with that, it's getting on to sunset as you finally arrive back into town, and you look around for a little bit as you're coming in, and Thanatos and Mika, they're hanging out by the well at this point, having conducted whatever follow-up investigations they wanted to conduct. They're just kind of waiting. Take it away, guys. Thanatos and Mika look up and see you approach.
Thanatos, Mika, Elizabeth, Thanatos, Mika.
Oh shit! You actually found her?
Only when being chased by a giant morbol. That wasn't fun.
Wait, what?
Yes.
You all would run into a Morval without us. You see, Mika, I told you they'd be lost without us.
I don't know if lost is the right word, but
She
Oh,
runs,
we-
runs
we-
up to Nia
we-
and looks you over.
you alright?
Yes, fortunately, we knew exactly where we are, but unfortunately so did the morbol. But I'm fine. We're all fine. And Elizabeth here, well, the vision isn't what we had originally assumed.
Apparently, considering Alice, she's not strangling Alice here right now.
She only ever saw Alistair once, that was the vision. He appeared as an apparition. That she can remember.
Well, then.
Careful, Elizabeth, he bites.
I'm sure I bite harder.
Good answer.
I like her.
That's...
The pleasure's all yours.
Listen. So, Miss Elizabeth, anything you'd like to share about why you were found in the ruins of this town?
Your guess is as good as mine.
She told us that she doesn't remember, so we're more hoping you found something.
Next question. Before we get into that, next question. Our friend Kyra said she saw you leaving food and animal skin.
Yes.
Why?
She looks around for a second.
I've been trying to get my head together. Needed something to fill the time in the meanwhile.
It sounds more like you cared what happened to them.
She turns to level an irritated glare at you.
Look, I'm cold and distant for a reason, but I'm not a heartless bitch, alright? I'm helping where I can.
There's nothing wrong with that. Quite the opposite. That's good.
All right.
I know.
Then. Next question. Have you ever seen, being out in the woods and the surrounding area, have you ever seen something about 15 feet tall with skeletal wings?
What?
She looks at you for a second and then sort of a...
No, I haven't.
Mind telling us what this is about?
Even I'm lost at this.
I did some inquiry and found an old man who was quite helpful. He said that whatever attacked this town, he got a somewhat decent look at it. Let's say 15 feet tall with skeletal wings. And Alice here, he mentioned a certain noise. Chains.
Chains. Where did you see chains in your vision again?
Chains, and I believe the chains.
Almighty DM, can you...
I honestly, I don't.
I didn't really
looking
see.
back on the vision, I honestly don't remember if I had chains in it or not.
I'm pretty
I
sure
was gonna say,
there was one...
I
I'm pretty
just
sure there
heard.
was...
I just heard chains, but not seen them.
I could have sworn in like one of the old... See, okay, look right there in the art piece that you just posted today. There's chains.
Yes, but that was something I drew long after I did the vision.
Well, let's just go with he heard it, since that's what the old man heard as well. So.
Is it? There's vision. I remember very clearly that there was chains in his vision.
That's
So
not just
something
there.
skeletal with chains. That sounds morbid and terrifying.
Just
Fair.
another thing that we need to defeat. Great. Makes me wonder if we're ever gonna stop fighting these horrors till we finally get to the one who started it all.
You're assuming whatever attacked isn't a long way from here by now.
Mike, I'm still wondering how our new friend here was found here, and she doesn't remember anything of how she got here.
1, we're not friends. 2, again, I wish I knew.
What do you remember before showing up here?
Not that it's any of your business, but I was in a cold, dark place.
So something happened between her imprisonment and ending up here, involving a skeleton dragon. Nice.
We don't know.
I'm not
It's a-
exactly sure.
we don't know exactly what it is. It doesn't sound like a dragon. Although that would explain why everything is burnt.
Well, you said you want to say some long-held things to your former master, Elizabeth. On that note, Alistair, Elizabeth, does he know anything involving magic for amnesia or just storing memories? Does
I
anyone?
don't. Sorry. I mean, not even Persona would help.
That would be more of a time magic thing.
Yeah, sorry. Not even Persona comes close.
Well,
You don't happen to have any time magic wizards hanging around Garland, perhaps?
Not exactly sure myself, to be honest.
There
I haven't
would
really
probably
seen one.
there probably would be a time mage or two somewhere in the mix.
Maybe one or two, but I haven't really seen any.
Well, that's an option when we get back to the city.
But
If
of course,
that's what...
that's Elizabeth's choice if she wants to remember or not.
Indeed.
We mustn't force her.
If I could forget everything up to this point, I would in a heartbeat. Why would I want to remember more of it?
I respect that.
It's understandable, but bear in mind that what's in there could be important to both you and everyone else here.
She kind of goes to brush by.
I just hope that we manage to find out what did it before the same thing happens to the main city and anywhere
Okay,
else.
I'm gonna wait until she's out of earshot.
Yeah, looks like she's pretty much just excused herself from the conversation and is just outright leaving.
She's hiding something.
You know that for certain?
The way that she doesn't want to talk about where she was.
She was trapped in a place where they cut her pieces of her off for sacrifice and then let it regrow. I wouldn't want to talk about that.
I get that. Then how did she end up here?
That's the mystery. But she'll have to decide on her own time if she wants to remember. But I have hope that she'll make that choice in the end.
And how do we know?
As jaded as she has become, the fact that she's been helping these townsfolk, I think there's a little bit more of the paladin she used to be than she would like to admit.
And what if she was partially responsible for this?
All I
We
know
can make
is she
that-
has the...
Sorry, go.
No. All I know is, from what I've seen of her, she remembers the duty and what it means to be a paladin. Protect those who are unable to protect themselves and help as many as she can.
We made assumptions about that vision before and we were wrong. For now, unless we have more information to the contrary, she's the victim here, not the aggressor.
Indeed.
I understand where you all are coming from, but we have to look at the facts.
I know you're
Ah,
concerned,
no,
Thanatos.
facts. That's
Thanatos.
Then how was she here in a burnt-out village?
That is what we're going to find out, and we can't do that so long as we stand debating it. She's leaving.
Indeed.
Let's go.
Come on, Thanatos. I want to help these people as much as I do, but we won't find anything just standing around and squabbling. We need to get to the bottom of it.
And that answer is back in Garlat, not here.
Alright. There's something off about her I don't like.
And keep an
know,
eye on
but-
her.
We keep
But
an eye on
don't
her,
assume.
but try not to offend her and be careful around her. She's in a fragile mind state right now. She's been through a lot.
Believe me, I can understand where she's coming from. And that, again, just makes me all the more worried.
Come on. She's getting ahead and daylight's leaving. Garlat awaits.
Hmm.
Quite.
I just hope she doesn't go too hard on him when she does meet him.
That's between them at this point.
And right now, with the way you two were talking about how she talked about him, that makes me even more worried.
We'll be there to make sure nothing goes too awry, but this is a private matter between them. And frankly, I'm not sure we have any right to
No
interfere
ears
too
dropping.
much.
All right.
Besides, we'd be pretty close anyway. We'd be back at my place. That's close enough, I say.
All right.
Let's go.
Sure.
All right.
Catch up to Elizabeth.
Yeah, as you sort of come around the bend and back out onto that sort of main sort of road, you look ahead and you do not see her.
Oh,
Slippery one.
hey? She was obviously in a hurry.
Well,
Oh, you
she
were
said she
swapping.
was. She said she was heading back to Garlat to see her former master. She has things to say, so we head there. We should come across her again.
Alright, let's catch up.
All right. And as you're all sort of picking up the pace and making your way out of the burnt-out husk that was once Wenland Crossroad, somewhere behind Elizabeth's path, I think we'll call it there for the week.
All right. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, so much for tuning in to this episode of Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. That did not go the way I was expecting, but fuck it, we improvised and we worked with it. Splitting the party was what really fucked you guys, but we'll talk about that in post. So, again, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
All right. Everyone, have a wonderful week.
And the Thlot Pickens.